My name's Sebastian, I'm a director at DPS Designs, and we are mould and tool makers. We specialise in working with the confectionery industry to come up with amazing creative concepts, take them right through towards tooling and moulding. We work with the aerospace and automotive industry to do mould making and tool making. We bought the DCX22i from Herco because it enables us to work with much larger tools, particularly for our automotive and aerospace customers, that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So the DCX22i has been really good for us because, well, one thing, it's got a lot of space inside the machine. So we operate with what we might call a bed shift. So we actually push something to one side of the bed, machine it, spin it around, push it to the other side of the bed, which enables us to get a longer table length than we might otherwise able to do. So having quite a lot of space in that direction is pretty good for us. But also the fact that the doors open right out enables us to get in with big pieces of billet and slide them in a way that would otherwise be actually pretty difficult. We've actually got 9 other Hercos on site, but we found that we just were losing work because we couldn't take on the bigger work that our competitors could. So we bought this machine particularly to work on larger size projects, such as anything going up to 2100 by 1600 mil. It allows us to really machine much bigger pieces of aluminium billet. We're making press tools, factory form tools, compression moulding, anything that we have to machine aluminium accurately to quite a large footprint is something which we can really use this machine for well.
I'm AJ, I'm one of the operators here at DPS Designs. This is my main machine that I'm operating. There's a few others as well. We kind of share the operation between machines, but primarily this is my machine that I'm usually running. The machines are super easy, friendly to use. Everything is where you'd expect it to be. Everything's manageable. It's all got user-friendly menus.
So one of the reasons why we continue to choose Herco, apart from their customer service, which is excellent, is that the WinMax control is something that all of the guys are familiar with. It's very easy to use, but every time we get a new machine, it's actually the WinMax control as much as anything else really that helps us to make that decision, because our model of operating is where any of our operators can go from any machine to another machine, and that means they can just jump on a machine, go to another machine, and they're completely familiar with it automatically, and that works really well for us.
We've gone for the option of the SK40 spindle. That gives us 12,000 RPM. Because we predominantly machine aluminium, we need the higher RPMs and the higher feed rates. The SK50 spindle is 8,000 RPM, so it gives us the extra 4,000 to play with. The spindle torque on it is monstrous on this compared to the others. We've got the 3 Herco 50s that we're using, a face milling operation on those on aluminium puts the spindle load at about 40 to 50%. On this, when we're running it, we'll do exactly the same, and the spindle load's only 6%. It is monstrous compared to the others.
Well, as a company, surface finish is everything to us. So being able to have a really high spindle speed is really important. This machine actually delivers that brilliantly well. The machine finish that we get off quite often requires very little benching, and actually some customers just want a machine finish, so no benching required, and that means you need to really trust it to run night and day. Maybe it might have a 100-hour runtime and just come off looking gleaming at the end of it, and that's really important to us. So when you make a decision to buy a new machine, it's really hard to weigh up all the pros and cons, and actually you never know when it's going to pay itself off, and what you never want to see is a quiet machine, because you made the wrong choice. From the first working day after we commissioned this machine, it was busy, and that's because it enables us to do stuff and win work that we wouldn't otherwise be able to win. And the reason why we could make that decision is because of Herco's customer service, but also because of their competitiveness on cost, and because obviously we trust the quality. And that's enabled us to have confidence going forward to grow our business around taking on bigger jobs, taking on work which we weren't otherwise previously able to do, and that has enabled this machine to pay itself off within the year, really.
I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. I mean, I love machines, absolutely love machines, but they seriously take a lot of hard work out of it. They just make it so much more fluid. The usability of them, again, there's nothing that we can't do on these machines. That applies to this one, the smaller ones. I'm not fazed by anything that comes in, not fazed by size. I believe we are looking potentially in the future to get an even bigger one again. Again, because we know the controls, it'll be exactly the same running. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.